Hey everybody, so me, my mom and dad, we're about to go watch Jurassic World Rebirth. I hope it's good. I've been hearing good reviews about it and some bad, but I can't wait to check it out for myself though. I'm rocking the t-shirt right now, the Jurassic World Rebirth t-shirt, so I can't wait to go see it, so let's go. What's up everybody? So me and mom and dad just got home from the theater, golden ticket though, and it was a good movie. I loved it, I enjoyed it, mom and dad enjoyed it. We do have a little bit of gripes though about it though, but small little gripes about the movie. But I'll let y'all know though when I do the reaction video to it. I'm gonna put it on my channel here soon though. And look what I also got though. I got the tin can Jurassic World though. Looks pretty cool though. It's got the T-Rex on it, Dolores, and got the Spinosaurus on it. So it's very cool. I'll show y'all a little bit more in depth when I do the video though. But I'll talk to y'all here in a few. What's up everybody, so welcome back to the channel, and today I got another good video for y'all though, but it's not an unboxing review video about any action figures or anything like that, but it's a movie review, and the movie review is going to be obviously, of course, you can tell by the t-shirt, and of course the catchline of this video and the opening title to it though, Jurassic World Rebirth movie review. Now there will be spoilers in this movie review, so if you don't want to hear it, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I recommend you do go see it. It's a very good movie though. I'll give you my rating in this video also though, and I would rate also, I'll give you a little short of everything after I do this video, of all my Jurassic Park and Jurassic World videos in order of what I think about all set and where they belong on the order podium here. But if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's been out about 2-3 weeks though, but I do recommend you go see it though. But if you haven't seen it yet, go stop right now and go see it though before the spoilers continue though. But from here on out, it's going to be spoilers throughout the rest of the review here though. But I love y'all, and God bless you though. But welcome to the channel though, y'all. But let's go ahead and start here with the plot. Then I got the cast right here because I can't remember everybody's names. So I got all the cast right here I'm going to read out for you, and I'm going to have the plot right here I'm going to read out on my piece of papers right here that I written down for y'all as my little notes for me, though. But let's go ahead and start with the plot, though. Jurassic World Rebirth. Zora Bennett leads a team of skilled operatives to the most dangerous place on Earth, an island research facility for the original Jurassic Park. Their mission is to secure genetic material from dinosaurs whose DNA can provide life-saving benefits to mankind. As the top-secret expedition becomes more and more risky, they soon meet a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. Now, what you think about it is that, when you first read that plot, you're thinking about, okay, so it's talking about Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, correct? I don't think so, because when you watch the movie and you see some of the stuff in the movie, though, like when they first go to the island where the shortest Rex is, and they got him kept at and everything, there's a whole new facility there on Murta. I think this new island is called is Murta. It's supposed to be the second. I think it's supposed to be the third island research facility is what they got in the movie. But they have it to where though that it's there though, and it looks like when you see the helicopter come in, the helicopter comes in, you go around the mountain, and you see it coming into the facility. You see a big old like almost like a container for a mosasaurus right in there. Then you see the helicopter land down, then we see, obviously, like you see in the trailer, you see the facility, the scientist lab, and everything like that. And then what's crazy is though about it is though is like this is made. It says after it cuts from this scene, it goes to 17 years, and it's 17 years later. And when you add that up, that's only 2010. Jurassic World was made in 2010 or 2006 or 2010, around that area is when Jurassic World. Actually, in the Jurassic World movie, is when they said that island's been made. It's been up and running for 10 years. So when you look at that, you're like, okay, so this ain't Jurassic Park. It ain't. It's talking about Jurassic World, or the original park Jurassic World. Because this, since it's a new series, a new trilogy, that is talking about Jurassic World, when they first opened there, and when Dr. Wu and them and Scorpius Rex and Dominus Rex was all getting created. Before they happened, Destroyed Rex happened. So that way you can see what that would look like as a mutant dinosaur. So the opening scene, you see the helicopter coming around into the facility there. It lands. You see obviously the science lab, like in the trailer of the way it is. Then you see a guy and you see a girl behind a panel and a guy with a gun inside of the containment area facility. Then you see the guy that he's got like a chocolate, like a Snickers bar in his mouth. And to go up, and you gotta do 1, 2, 3 to unlock the door. So he does it, but he sticks the sticks the Snickers in his mouth, and the wrapper falls. Now, of course, it's doing like a destination kind of type movie here, though, is where like destination, like, oh, just one little error it causes to happen, which is kind of cool, but still I think it's kind of a little tacky, though, just a little bit of being a Snickers bar. But still, though, it's all a good movie, though, and I do love the movie, though. I'm not down it. I do love it. I just got a couple gripes about it. That's just, that they could have fixed easily and made this movie on 100%. But, so the Snicker wrapper falls on the floor. Then you got to where a worker walks past it, and I don't understand how they didn't pick it up, so they didn't pick it up. So when the containment opens up, they go into it. Then you got another door they got to open up to go into the containment. So the other door closes in behind them that they come into, and then the guard and them two scientists go into the door, and then the Snickers bars go into the actual little door in the vent area. Then everything in the system just shuts down automatically. Then you just go to the controls, the guy with the control center like this, control center, and control to him, and then all of a sudden, everything starts breaking down. Then you hear guns shooting on the little screen. You see guns shooting and everything like that. So it's the sort of effects, and everybody's running out trying to get out of there and everything. So the other scientist girl that opened the door earlier, her friend, the other science guy, was on the other side with the Snickers bar. He gets trapped in there, and so she's getting to open up the door, and before she does, the Distorted Rex comes out of nowhere and comes through the redness and through the fog. Excuse me, I burped it a little bit. It's come through the redness and the fog there though, and comes right behind the guy. And believe me, this is a beautiful version of the Distorted Structure here in action. But he comes up behind her and he's crying for her to let him out, right? But at that point, though, you can, but it's a movie, though. But in real life, though, you can. It's just that much is going to get released into the real world. But that's another topic I'm going to get onto, though, because throughout the movie, though, you see something else that's kind of shocking, though, about that movie at the same time, though. But so the Distorted Rex grabs him and then turns him upside down, which is so cool. It turns him upside down in like an Eaton fashion way, and then slowly goes into the mist as the girl's crying for her friend. Goes into the mist, and you can see him just like chop down on him and just bite him in half there a little bit, which is kind of cool though. And then the movie cuts. It says, talking about 17 years later, how the world don't like dinosaurs no more. They become irrelevant. They're not really anything special or nothing like that. Then it cuts to New York, where you meet Zora Bennett and you meet Martin Curbs. You meet Martin Curbs, where their story picks up, and then you get to meet Dr. Loomis. Go ahead and read the cast here for you, though, so that we go ahead and get into that. But the Jurassic World Rebirth cast: Scarlett Johansson as Zora Bennett, Jonathan Bailey as Dr. Henry Loomis, Luna Bless as Teresa Delenga. I don't know how you spell that last name. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me for that. Marshall Skyle, Duncan Kincaid, and then Rupert Fran Martin Curbs, which is the bad guy also in this movie. Ed Skieran, Bobby Atwater, David Lakeco, Xavier Dobbs, Philippine Vledge, Nia, Adriana Miranda, Isabel Delenga. If I'm not spelling your names right, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not good with some names. I'm sorry. But please forgive me for that. I'm trying to know. But Vichair, Sullivan, Leclerc, and then Manuel Garcia, Rufo, Ruben Delgado. Now he is the father of the family, though, but we'll get to that here in just a second, though. But so we start the movie off with the island, of course. Then you go straight into where you see Zora Bennett and you see Martin Curbs. So they're talking about a secret mission where he'll pay her anything and her team anything. Then they go on this mission to get dinosaur DNA to save mankind from heart disease and any other kind of disease they come up with. So then, after you get it, and also you got a little Patasaurus, but they said Bacterosaurus, but I think it's a Patasaurus that's in New York right there, also getting painted on with the graffiti. It's dying, of course. It's in New York City like that way, and it's just laying there, and they're trying to move it and everything like that, and it's a horrible sight. It's not a horrible sight, but it's sad though to see that happen to a dinosaur, especially if you're a dinosaur fan like I am, and everything. It's just kind of sad though. So then you go from there to both Zora Bennett and Martin Curbs go to see Dr. Loomis at the museum, and obviously we find out that the museum is closing down. So we find out the museum's closing down, so then it takes a little bit of coercing him to go into it and everything like that, because he don't know about the money, he don't know about the secrets of the island or nothing. He just knows they're on like a little mission. And he was supposed to just stay back. He wasn't supposed to come. He was just supposed to tell him what to get. And then it's kind of foreshadowing in the movie what we're going to see in the movie, because then he says we need a land dinosaur, a sea, and air dinosaur. So then he says the sea would be mosasaurs, the air would be Quetzalcoatlus, and then the land would be Titanosaurus. So you would need that. So after a few minutes of talking to him about that and showing us that little foreshadowing later on to the movie, and then him sitting on a bench and eating like a couple of Tic Tacs or something like that. And finally he agrees and he goes on the mission. So then we go from there, we trans forward into Thailand, where you see Duncan Kincaid, Bobby Atwater, and the whole team there. And you got Bobby Atwater, you got Nia, you have Duncan, you have yeah, you have that. That's about it. That's all who you got there. Yeah, you just got those three there. My bad. It's just those three that you got there. Though. So you meet them, and then of course Zora called Duncan or messaged Duncan, hey, let's try to court this guy and give him us more money since they can afford it. So then you get a little bit of joke about them, saying I can't do it, man. I need more. The money's just not enough. And then Martin Kurtz figures out that they're trying to hoodooler him for the money and everything. So they do that and everything, which is kind of cool. So they do that. So they get the money and everything. Then they go on the boat. So they get on the boat, and the Mosasaurus has a GPS tracker in it from InGen when it was on the facility at Murta when it was there. So you got two Mosasaurus now. You got the Jurassic World one, and then you got Jurassic World Rebirth Mosasaurus from the new InGen facility, though. So you got that. So they go hunting for the Mosasaurus and everything, and so they're trying to go find it. So they're heading to the island. They get about 5 miles out from the island, and then we transfer from them to the family. You got Ruben, Teresa, Isabella, and Xavier. Xavier is Teresa's boyfriend, and Isabella is his little daughter that they have. And then you got the father, of course. So they're on their little red boat. They're going somewhere else. They're going like overseas somewhere else to somewhere else to go visit over the ocean or something because he's got his kids for the summer break from school. And then so they're doing the fine. We get a little backstory behind them, which I will admit I do like it as after watching the second time, but I will admit though if they could cut a little bit of that out, because we didn't need to know every single thing about them, if they could cut a little bit of those ocean scenes out, with like getting too much family and too much know-it-all and everything like that, they would have been okay then. So we go to them, and then all of a sudden the Mosasaurus finds them, tips over the boat. Xavier almost dies, but he survives. He's okay. He survives though. Everybody on the boat survives. The Mosasaurus comes in like it's gonna get Xavier, but then it just goes underwater. So that's the first time you see Mosasaurus in the movie. It don't attack him or nothing like that. Then you see the Spinosaurus show up in the background and say, "What's that over there?" So you see the Spinosaurus is coming into the fleet, but they don't touch family or nothing like that. So Xavier got the red pouch that Ruben was wanting him to get from the boat, so they can call for help. So he's on the CB, doing Mayday, Mayday, we need help, giving the coordinates out and everything like that. So then it reaches back to Duncan and them on their boat. So Duncan hears it, and Duncan. We find out when Zora and Duncan talks on the ship together right there. Found out Duncan lost his child in the ocean. We don't know if it's by the Mosasaurus or not. We haven't got that confirmed, but he did lose his child, though, in the ocean, though, either from drowning or the Mosasaurus, which is really sad. And then Zora lost her fiance or boyfriend or just lover in an accident that they were trying to do a mission on. So we get that story about them. We get a whole backstory of Zora and Duncan, which is kind of cool, though. Now, that would have been all right, but the whole family, other family, though, we didn't need a whole backstory, too, though. But, so as they're about ready to get the Mosasaurus, all of a sudden Duncan wakes up the next morning because this happened at night. So then they wake up the next morning, and Duncan hears on a CB that Mayday, Mayday, we need help. So him and Zora and them all talking in a group. It's like, oh, we got to go get these guys. We got to go pick them up and get them, So they eventually decide on to go do it because Duncan's like, it's my boat. Tells Martin Kurtz, because Martin Kurtz, well, this is my mission. He's like, well, this is my boat. Obviously, if you're the owner of the boat, you're not going to do what the guy mission tells you to do. He can't do that. So he takes his boat and goes gets them. They pick him up. They get him on the boat. And then they're heading back to the island, and the Mosasaurus finds them, and so it's hunting after them and coming after them now. And then you get a whole sequence of just a beautiful sequence for at least, I would say, a good 15 minutes maybe, or a little bit less, of a whole sequence of Duncan and them on the ship fighting back with the Mosasaurus. Zora Bennett trying to get her the DNA sample from them and everything like that, which is just cool though. Dr. Loomis is amazing and everything like that. This whole scene is amazing with the Spinosaurus coming up and everything like that. So then finally they get on the island, but the family and everything, they jump off the boat before they reach the island because Duncan and them get slammed into the ocean and everything like that, and it's just getting slammed around now. So everybody wanting to stay together for the family that they get out of harm's way, they get out of there. So they get out there, and Duncan stays on the boat, and then he gets into the island. He survives, takes his picture of his boy down. You can just see in his face, and he's just like, we made it. And he's still reminiscing and still sad because he couldn't save his own children. But so he goes from there, and then we get on the island, and then you got obviously you got Nina here, who is one of Duncan. Well, my bad, I'm going a little too fast forward here. My bad, I forgot about a scene now. Also, while we're on the ocean, Bobby Atwater, he's trying to kill the Spinosaurus with his guns he got, right? So on the boat, when the Mosasaurus is attacking the boat, then the Spinosaurus come in. Spinosaurus comes on the side of the boat, but Bobby Atwater, he comes out the door and just shooting, bam, 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 just shooting the Mosasaurus at them, and then one of the Spinosaurus, which is a cool scene, comes out, grabs him, and you see him getting pulled away. But before he gets pulled away, looking at the doorway, you got Isabella here is looking at the door. She's looking at him and just looks at him in his eyes. Then he gets pulled away into the ocean, which is a crazy dramatic scene, but it's so cool though. And now that's our first death. Well, that's our second death of the movie. First death is a scientist in the lab, and then Bobby Atwater. And then now a third death in the movie comes when they get on the beach. So you got Nina's pouring all the safety gear onto the beach, pouring all the gear onto the beach. Well, over here in the corner to the right side, you see a Spinosaurus just camouflaged somehow. It's camouflaged, and then it comes up. She moves in behind the stuff because she don't see the Spinosaurus come. It comes and grabs her by the legs, and she's just getting chewed, and she's just trying, be on top of the stuff and get away from it. And it just pulls into the ocean. Then you got Duncan coming after her and Zora and them, and they're all saying her name, and she's gone. She's gone. You can't find her. She's done for. She's gone. So then, you go from that, we go back to the family. After Zora and then gets on the island, they're going through, the woods and everything like that. Then we go back to the family here, though. Then you got, you got Xavier, you got, Tessa, and then you got Isabella, and then you got Ruben. So they're all together. Well, after a few minutes of them talking, being family night together, and everything like that, well, they're sitting in this, little place right here, though, where they're sitting together. They're leaned up, against the little tree, and Xavier went and go get wood sticks, and he really redeems himself. At first, he's like a cocky teenage kid, don't want to do nothing, don't want to help out, or nothing. He's lazy as shit, But then he comes into this movie, and then into this scene, and then all of a sudden, her dad, the girlfriend's dad, he's like talking to her, he's like, thank you for saving her, because she fell off the boat during the Mosasaurus scene, so by accident. And Martin Curbs didn't save her. Martin Curbs actually wanted her to die. That's another reason how you find out he's a bad guy in the movie also. And then so Xavier was like, I don't know what she sees in me, and Ruben's just like, well, I know. Well, then after a couple heartfelt moments, and then Xavier says, well, I gotta go pee. So he goes pee. And now we were supposed to get the original Raptor scene that they cut out of the movie. I don't know why, but they did. They cut out one of the best Raptor party scenes in the movie, and then we get to meet the Mutodon. So Xavier comes up to this little, he goes far away from the people, so obvious he goes away from the family so far away, which is kind of ridiculous how far you go away from somebody being so close. So he goes far away. So then he comes up, then all of a sudden you get the Mutodon and the Raptors right here. So you see him peeing, and all of a sudden you see two Raptors. A Raptor comes in this way, and a Raptor comes in this way, and sneaks up behind him. But then one Raptor, though, stops, and when he's moving, he stops so they can't hear him, he's like, and then he comes up behind him, and right before he's about to jump on him, a Mutodon just comes down, destroys that sucker. Flaps him around, everything weird, just throws him around like he's a rag doll, like a rag doll. Throws him around. It's insane. It's crazy to me how insane that is, but throws him around like a rag dog, and then it flies off with him into this, which is a cool scene, by the way, in my mad at. Cool scene, but it would have been awesome, though, later in the movie if they would have put another Raptor and a Mutodon fighting together again and a better scene, though. It would have been cool, though, but that was a cool scene, though. So then you go back to Zor and Dr. Loomis and Duncan and them and the whole rest of the group that's left. You go back with them. So they're walking through the tall grass. Then all of a sudden, Zor and them hears, sounds and things. So Zor comes up with her dart gun. She comes up, she's just looking around like a mission a leader should do, And then all of a sudden, Dr. Loomis comes beside her, eating them Tic Tacs again, chewing. And then all of a sudden, you see a tail pop up out of the tall grass. Tail pop up. Then you see the Titanosaurus come up. And what's so beautiful about this scene is that you see them come up and pop up, though, but then you have it to where, though, that there's a male and female, and they both come together. The tails wrap around each other, the fins come up on their heads, which is just so cool and just so amazing. The fins come up, tails wrap around each other, and just so awesome. And then you see Dr. Loomis as a fan of dinosaurs like I am. He's crying in the scene. You just see motion from that scene. You can just tell that's a heartfelt emotion into the scene itself, which is amazing and just cool at the same time. Then Zora Bennett shoots it in the leg. Then it jumps up a little bit, so they get it, and then they get their first sample. They get their second sample of DNA secured successfully. So they got the Mosasaurus sample, and then they got the Titanosaurus, which is so cool and so awesome, though. Oh, and I forgot to tell you though, by the way though, Dolores comes into the scene. Isabel finally meets Dolores because Dolores comes up to her as they're sitting on that wood stump. By the way, she comes up to her and lays down beside her and sleeps with the whole family and comes out the food and everything like that. So you got the food, all together like that. So then we go from that scene. You see Joy Bennett and then look up and they're gonna go get the Quetzalcoatl, so they're gonna climb up there. So then we go to the next scene though, where you got the family back, and I'm assuming this is probably the next day is what they're trying to entail here. This is the next day here though. And so then we get the famous T-Rex scene and the raft scene, like in the trailers. Basically, if you've seen the trailer, the whole scene is in that trailer, just a couple of little bit extras, but not much though. But you see it though, and then you see the Dilophosaurus. The Dilophosaurus eating a Ferrocelophus right here. See it pop up, and got the thing come out, which is a beautiful Dilophosaurus, but only for screen time for probably about 10 seconds or less though, not much. So then you got Teresa, who's over there trying to get the little boat thing out of the engine cart right here across the little river. And then the Dilophosaurus pops up out of nowhere, and then it just runs because when a predator comes around, a small dinosaur would run because they don't want to get eaten. Yeah, Lily chilling right there, make sure she's not chewing on anything important. So then you go from that. Then the T-Rex pops out of the tall grass, rolls over, and it's sleeping in its natural habitat, which is so cool. We finally get to see like actual T-Rex sleeping like we did in Fallen Kingdom, but this is more real and this T-Rex is way bigger than any other T-Rex we've got in the series, way bigger, and the design is just amazing. But it's sleeping in its natural habitat like a natural dinosaur would do, and acts like a natural dinosaur. So then she gets the boat out of the little raft out of the engine container, and she's scooting across the little board piece right here on the lake right here. You walk across like the sidewalk right there though. So she's pulling it out. And how is this not waking up the T-Rex is beyond me and making too much noise. She should have done it dead by now in real life. But it's not doing it though. So then she rolls out and she pops up together. As soon as she does, you see the T-Rex pop up behind the raft, and then when the raft flips over, it's just disappeared. And you're like, okay, where did it go? So then as she's got it in the water, going back to her family to pick up her mom, to pick up her dad and sister and her boyfriend and Dolores, the T-Rex is coming over this way in the tall grass, getting some water. So they all get in the raft together. Then the T-Rex sees them and starts coming in the water after them though. So they're trying to, like, hurry. They're trying to, like, give it all they got to go and to hurry. And it's so cool and so amazing. Then the T-Rex, I've never seen a T-Rex do this, and it's so cool. It actually goes in the water and starts swimming in the water with them, which is amazing. And then it flips over them, and then it gives it like that roar, like, rah! Like, which is just so amazing. That roar is amazing. That's my favorite scene in the movie right there. It's just so amazing how it does that. So it does that, and then while they're going down the river, it's trying to bite into them. So it's chopping in the water, going down the side of the forest here, trying to chop down the water, trying to get them and everything like that. You can't get them. And then the little girl, Isabel, is left in the raft. And this raft is, I don't know what it's made out of, but it does not break. The teeth goes into it, he bites it, he crunches it up, and it just don't break or nothing like that. So then Isabel's trapped underneath the raft there though. So as the T-Rex, as everybody else made it out, and behind a rock piece where the T-Rex can't come through with his big body or nothing like that, then the T-Rex bites down on the raft. You see the teeth come through it, but it don't break it or nothing. And then you see it pick up the little girl, and they're like, oh man, she's gonna die right here, Then it just shakes it, and then all of a sudden it just throws it back in the water, and you see it looking down like, where's it at? And then Isabel pops up and gets pushed into her family right there behind the rock. Then the T-Rex comes up and goes in between the rocks and gives it another good roar, and then it just pulls out, shakes its head a little bit like it's, like, oh, that hurt a little bit, and then just walks away totally though, which is crazy though. But a good scene though. Then you got back to Zora Bennett and the mission crew. So then they find the Quetzalcoatlus. So that's another good scene in itself. So then you find the Quetzalcoatlus, and they go down, they climb down the rock face. They go down, they go into the actual little mine's ruin thing there though, where the Quetzalcoatlus is at, where he lives at. And then they find the egg, so Dark Luma sticks the eggs in there. Well, you got what's his name? Let me find his name here. Well, you got LeClure. LeClure, he's right there on the outside, hammering in a nail. The Quetzalcoatlus comes up. He goes inside, starts going after Dr. Loomis and Zora Bennett with the eggs and everything. That's amazing. I mean, it's going like bam, 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 So then LeClure thinks the good ideas before climbing up. He's like, well, I got to help them out, so I'm going to throw my hammer in there. He throws this hammer like almost like a saw hammer. He throws it in there like, and it's like a Jeepers Creepers type movie. It goes in and hits that thing right in the head, right in the side head of it, just perfect. That thing turns around and gives him like that menacing look like, like, like it's about to come out. Like it gives him like that look. Like I wonder if I can turn it with this. It gives him like that look, and then it's just like, and then it just comes. It's okay, baby. And then, hey, it's okay. Sorry, I scared my dog a little bit. She don't like these things when they make sound. It's okay. It's okay. So then it comes after him. So as Duncan and them and Martin Curbs is trying to pull him up this rock place, trying to pull him up, and then you got just a beautiful scene of it just climbing up after him. It's just amazing. So then when they think they got him to the top, because it's really heavy to pull now, so then when they think they got him to the top of it, all of a sudden the Quetzalcoatl's head just slowly pops up, and it's got liqueur in its mouth. She is just chomping down on him. She's got him flipping him up, flipping around, then she finally swallows him, and then she comes after Duncan and Mark and Curbs, and they find a little secret passageway. They go down in that and get away, though, and everything like that, which is just crazy and just so amazing, in my opinion, though. Then you got an unbelievable way how Dr. Loomis didn't die here. But this is unbelievable. In real life, he would have died. But Dr. Loomis falls out of the cave, and Zora Bennett's trying to hang on to him, and he gets the actual, he's got to get the DNA back, because the DNA fell back out of the Mind's Ruin thing right there, out of the place where the Quetzalcoatl was staying at. Falls out on the ledge, so he gets it, well, the rope breaks. And so he falls down, he goes to trees, and then hits the water. And then 5 seconds later, he pops up out, and he's like, oh, and he's like, he made it. And then what's the craziest scene, another crazy part of this whole dang scene is that the DNA sample comes up right beside him and falls down and parachute perfect landing. In real life, there's no way that happens, y'all. I'm telling you that if I fall that from that distance, I'm definitely dead after the second hit. Like, there's no way you survive that type of fall. But, so that was another cool scene, though. Unrealistic scene, but cool scene, though. So we go from there. Then we get to the facility, though. Now, this is where it gets fun. So we get to the facility, and then you got to where the family is there. The family shows up there first. Well, and then you have it to where Zora Bennett and them, they show up next. So they're at the gas station right there where the famous Mutadog scene is about to take down. So then all of a sudden you get the family yelling out and everything like that. And then, so they all run each other, meet up with each other. Then you go into where you got Martin Curbs, where the little girl, Teresa, comes out and saying, Martin Curbs, he left me to die on the boat. So Duncan's getting mad. Zora's mad. So everybody's mad. Then Martin Curbs turns into the bad guy here. He pours out the gun on them, takes the briefcase, straps it to his wrist here, though. And then from there on, it's chaos. Because then all of a sudden the Mutadons drop down. Like 2 or 3 of them drops down. And they're just chasing everybody. You got a Mutadon Jason, Zora Bennett, and Martin Curbs. And then you got the family going into the gas station getting chased by it. You got Duncan and Dr. Loomis getting chased by the Mutadon. So they get chased and stuff like that. And then they end up in the science. Duncan and Dr. Loomis end up in the science lab where the Disorder Rex is being kept. Now this is where it gets kind of a little weird. So they end up in there and they shut the door behind where the Mutadon can't get in there with them. So then after they hear the helicopter coming in, helicopter's supposed to come pick them up. After they hear the helicopter coming in, after Dr. Loomis and Duncan is in there together, just looking at things, looking at all the other things in there and everything like that. Then you see the Disorder Rex making a move in behind the door, but the door is open. But if you notice, though, the door closed, though, when it first was caged in. But the door opened up, and, it can't come out that way because it's too big. So it went the other way. So obviously the building's been torn down or messed with, though, how it's able to get out. But it's just been staying at that one facility, though. We don't see the D-Rex from the first time we see it, when it kills that one guy, the scientist guy, till now is when we see the D-Rex again. You don't hear it throughout the movie or nothing. You don't see about it. You don't hear about it, nothing. So you get back to that facility right there. So it stays at the facility the whole time. So then we go from there. You go back to the family inside the gas station where Isabel's hiding from the Mutadon. So the Mutadon comes up into like this little window she's got in behind like a little freezer, and it's looking at itself, and then it just gives like a little scream at itself. So then it comes in, it goes down the aisle like almost in Jurassic Park where you got the raptor where it does the little claw thing. It comes and does it, steps on a pop bottle, squeezes a pop bottle out. It comes like it's got its wings tucked in and everything. This thing's got wings, by the way, like this. It comes in, it's got wings, and it's just like got that menacing, like terrifying look to it. So then you got the family. They go down in this like little drain hole right here, though, and then you got the Mutadon right there, though, looking at me, just trying to beat on, trying to get in, but it can't get in that way from the gas station. So then you got Zora Bennett, and then you got Martin Curbs outside of the facility, though, which then Martin Curbs grabs the little engine car there or whatever like that, and it's got like a siren that's annoying, like a police siren. You hear it all over the dang map. It's crazy. So he gets in that and pulls away, and then Zora, it runs into the woods away from the Mutadon. Then it sees the Mutadon get a drain pipe outside, tear it open, and then go down and go after the family. So she goes in after the family to go find them now. So as she's doing this, then you see it to where though that you got to where Dr. Loomis is out going after the helicopter. So the helicopter comes in though, and this is another good scene to the movie here though, which is another favorite part of the scene to me, and another favorite part of the movie for me though. So then you got to where the helicopter comes in, and behind him you see the after you see the shots of the sort of effects coming behind him and behind the clouds. Dr. Loomis is like, like he feels something's about to happen. He's like, oh no, what's going to happen? And then so he's trying to wave off the helicopter because he knows something's about to happen. So he's trying to wave off the helicopter, like, no, 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 go back up, go back up, go back up. So then come around to the other side, all of a sudden the Distorted Rex comes in, grabs through the fog, grabs the helicopter, just biting into it, just tearing it up, and throws that sucker, man. I mean, launches that thing, which is so cool and so amazing. Launches it. And then Dr. Loomis and Duncan meets up again, and so they're like, the helicopter's gone, so they get in the drain pipe with the family and like that. So then they're trying to protect everybody. So Duncan meets up with them, tells them the helicopter's not here. Dr. Loomis tells them it's not here, it's gone. So then the kids are like, we're scared. They're like, I don't want to get hurt, don't want to die. And he's like, hey, I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you, because he wants to get redemption, I guess, for what happened to his son, So he protects him. Then Zora Bennett comes up behind him when the Mutadon is about to kill him, comes up and kills the Mutadon instantly, and blackboards that sucker. Kills him. So then they all get on the dock together, trying to escape, get on the little raft, the little boat there, to try to get out of there and try to get home free. So then the Distorted Rex comes out to them right here though, and it looks beautiful, like a mutant should. It looks gorgeous though. So then it comes out though, and then it comes out in front of them though, and Dolores, not Dolores, but Isabel. Dolores is in her backpack. Now Isabel though is standing there looking at that thing's coming down looking at. So then Dr. Loomis and then Duncan's like, light, it's attracted to light. So then Duncan grabs one of the flares out of Dr. Loomis's book bag that he got from where the helicopter was supposed to land to show the helicopter where they was at. He grabs it and gets the flare, and he's like, get him out of here, get him to safety. He grabs the flare and leans it towards him so that it comes towards him. So they go through the woods a little bit and disappear. And then we get a shot of the Distorted Rex, in the water, just moving, coming after him. And then all of a sudden, Duncan stops up behind the thing. He's like, yeah, this is it right here with the flare in hand. Then he just like, screams at it. And then the Distorted Rex comes back at him. And then the Distorted Rex comes at him and just screams at him. It's just crazy and just amazing. She just comes at him and just screams at him. Well, it's okay, baby. It's okay. She just comes at him and screams at him. And originally he's supposed to die in the original script, but then they changed it, they said, supposedly. So then you get back to the boat, though, and then they're watching the light in the background of the flare, and then it just disappears. It just vanishes. So they're thinking Duncan's dead, so they're yelling out, Duncan! 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 Zora's just yelling out, right? So then all of a sudden, right as they're about to get out of the water and go into the open ocean right there, all of a sudden you see a flare pop up, and it's Duncan. He's waving, he's like, yeah. He just pops up out of nowhere, which is just cool, but still kind of iffy, a little bit though. But still cool though. So he gets on the boat. Then and this whole movie is giving a whole homage to the Jurassic Park. There's so little callbacks to the movie you would see when you see the movie on digital coming out in a couple weeks, or in theaters here too. But it gives a little callbacks out, which is so amazing, so cool though. So then we go from there. Then go on the ship where we're on the boat where they're talking about Dr. Loomis and Zora's accent. So what we do, Zora's asking Dr. Loomis what we do now, because they're starting to develop. You can tell they're starting to develop a chemistry, like a love romance chemistry together. You can tell a little bit. And so he's just like, well, we distribute it and we give it to everybody. And she's like, okay. And then it just goes from there. You hear the Jurassic World music, or the Jurassic Park type music deal. And then it just goes into credits and cuts off. That's it. That's the whole movie. But overall, though, it's a good movie, though, in my opinion. The cast is amazing. I just wish a couple scenes in the ocean scenes would have changed a little bit, so we have more dinosaurs in them instead of less character build up in them, though. But still a good old movie, though. I give it an 8 out of 10 over the ranking, though. A 1 through 10 ranking, I give it an 8 out of 10. I do like the movie. Very good movie, and I love it, though. And it's very one of my favorites, though. And make sure y'all keep watching my channel, though, coming up here, though. And I'll give a short, though, also, though, about all my rankings of all 7 of them together, though, But that's going to do it, though, for the Jurassic World Rebirth movie, though, guys. I hope y'all reviewed it. I know it's not the best one out there, but I try to do a little bit good, though. I try to do a little bit better, though, than most, I try with what I got, though. But I hope y'all enjoyed it, though. Make sure to check out every new video drop tomorrow on Tuesday and Thursday. And every Saturday at 2 p.m., though, make sure you check out every new live stream coming up, though. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, every new bonus videos, though. But that's going to do it, though, for today's videos, though, guys. But I love y'all. God bless y'all, though. Make sure you check out the other videos on my channel, though. And I can't wait to see y'all until the next one. Until then, I love y'all, and God bless y'all, though. Bye-bye. What's up, everybody? Hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and check out every Tuesday and every Thursday for new unboxing review videos dropping, every Monday and Wednesday and Friday for bonus videos dropping, and every Saturday at 2 p.m. for our special live streams together, though. But I love y'all, and God bless y'all, though. I can't wait to see y'all until the next one. Until then, bye-bye.